What if I told you that two siblings who once slept under a leaking roof are now billionaires? Not by luck, but by sheer determination. This is the incredible story of Mark and June, siblings who went from grass to grace, rewriting not only their destiny, but their entire family's future. Stay with me, because their journey is filled with lessons you'll never forget. In a dusty, forgotten corner of a small village lived two siblings, Mark and June. Their home was nothing more than cracked mud walls and a leaky roof. During rainfalls, the siblings would lie awake, listening to the rain dripping through holes above their heads, whispering promises to each other. One day, we will end this poverty, not just for us, but for everyone who comes after us. They had no inheritance, no family fortune, not even the privilege of a proper education. What they did have was hunger, not just the kind that gnaws at the stomach, but the hunger for change. Mark and June were obedient and intelligent. They helped their parents in any way they could. Sometimes they hawked petty household items or foodstuffs. Sometimes they did mini jobs during school holidays. Most times, they missed out on school excursions or other activities because they couldn't pay up. Such was their situation until they graduated from secondary school. One day, while working at a roadside cafeteria, Mark overheard customers discussing something that sounded strange to him: forex trading. Words like pips, charts, and bull runs filled the air. To most, it was just financial jargon, but to him, it was a spark. He was very curious to know what that was, that he approached one of his customers. That night, he told June, "I think this is it. This could be our escape." He told June how he pleaded with one of his customers to give him an insight into the topic they were discussing, and that was forex trading. He explained to June that they would need a laptop and internet connection. To June, that sounded promising, so both of them decided to give it a trial. At first, it felt impossible. They had no money to invest, and there were no mentors to guide them. Mark and June tried to save as much as they could. All they could afford was an old second-hand laptop that barely worked and unstable internet. But still, night after night, they watched tutorials from YouTube, studied charts, and scribbled notes until their fingers cramped. Subsequently, they made their initial significant error by putting their meager savings into a trade, which unfortunately failed in a matter of a few hours. They lost almost everything. For most people, that would have been the end, but for these siblings, it was fuel. "If failure has visited us, then success is close by," June said, her voice steady even when tears streamed down her face. While they were becoming familiar with the forex market, they also discovered the world of cryptocurrency, which presented a new opportunity. Many individuals labeled it as a risky gamble, an unsustainable bubble, and a temporary fad that would soon fade away. But to Mark and June, it was the future. They stayed up through countless nights reading white papers, studying blockchain technology, and making small, strategic investments. Each and every coin they purchased came with an inherent amount of risk. Each and every choice they made had significant consequences. And sometimes everything seemed to crumble: sudden crashes, empty wallets, and nights without food. Yet they pressed on. Then it happened. One morning, after months of tension and near despair, they woke up to find their portfolio had multiplied overnight. The coins they had believed in, while the world mocked, had soared. "June, we made it," Mark whispered, staring at the glowing screen in disbelief. Their hearts pounded. From $50 to $5,000, from $5,000 to $500,000. The climb was surreal. And then, the first million. With each success, they didn't run to buy luxury cars or designer clothes. They kept trading and reinvesting their profits. They got quality laptops, better internet services, and a comfortable place to work from, an office. They remembered the nights of hunger, the laughter of neighbors who mocked them, the silent cries of their mother when she couldn't afford food. The first action they took was to improve the quality of life for their parents. Food was no longer a problem. They built a better family house but renovated their mud house as a monument. Their friends and neighbors couldn't believe the sudden change. Some tied it to ill-gotten wealth, calling them scammers. But they never mind. They kept venturing and succeeding until money was no longer a problem for them. Considering the nature of the projects that the siblings managed, which extended both to their local community and beyond, it was evident that they had achieved a certain level of success. They bought many acres of land at different locations. They built schools, sponsored small businesses, and created foundations that taught others about financial literacy, crypto, and forex. Mark and June became renowned and were among the most important people in society. Today, their net worth runs into the billions, and they are known as billionaire siblings. Their story became a symbol that even children born into poverty could rewrite their story. The siblings who once slept in a leaking mud house now live in mansions and have empires to their name. But behind the fortune lies the true treasure: knowledge, discipline, and the courage to never give up. Mark and June's story reminds us that success is never instant. It's born out of struggle, discipline, and the courage to rise after every fall. They didn't just chase money, they chased knowledge. And knowledge gave them everything. What about you? What dream are you chasing today? If this story inspired you, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more powerful stories, and share it with someone who needs a spark of hope. Until next time, keep believing, keep learning, and keep rising.